Dating apps are manipulating you and you don't even realize it. But this wouldn't make them too different than most of these companies, whether it's social media, whether it's pornography websites, whether it's fast food companies. They all are taking advantage of you and you don't even know. And this is why it's so important to understand human nature and have that self-awareness. Because a lot of people, they'll scroll all day. You were supposed to be on Instagram for a couple minutes, but then it turns to a couple hours. Or you were supposed to be on TikTok for a couple minutes. It was a couple hours. And this is all by design. They do that slot machine, that dopamine-based reward system that keeps you swiping endlessly. Until you have to get off the phone, you're going to keep swiping. They keep trying to up it. They try to keep you on their social media as long as possible. And the dating apps are no different. You know, when I was swiping on Tinder the other day, I realized that I ran out of matches. Like, no more girls in my area. You know, and I could tell it's picking started getting thick. A whole bunch of big bags popped up, kept swiping left. I'm like, God damn, how many big bags are in the city? God damn. And then it's like, no more women. Then I get back on the app a couple minutes ago, probably just off a habit. And then next you know, there's a whole bunch of women. But it's a whole bunch of bots. It's a whole bunch of fake accounts. It's probably a whole bunch of women that used to be on Tinder, but they don't even use the app anymore. But we're going to make it look like there's still a whole bunch of women on here. So they are manipulating you at great levels, and they've been doing this. They just keep upping the price. Now they charge you weekly. It used to be monthly. I remember when I was like 18, 19 years old. Me and all my friends, we were on Tinder, you know. And Tinder charged me a different price than it would charge them. Because I was getting more likes. So the more attractive you are, the less you had to pay. The less attractive you were, the less women that swiped right on you, now you got to pay more. So they are really taking advantage of the average man. Because he thinks he just got to spend more money on the app. Whole time the guy that's getting most of the matches, he's not spending as much as you. So I want you guys to know the levels these companies go to take advantage of people. You know, companies used to want to serve the people. At least I like to believe it. Like, companies really used to be about serving the people. But now it's about milking the people, taking as much as they possibly can. Like I said, most of these big corporations and companies are like that. Even a lot of these, if you look at the numbers, the top pornography websites, they collect more personal data than Google and Facebook. Google and Facebook, they're trying to collect all the data they can get on you so they can keep you hooked. They can keep you hooked. And that's why you really got to pay attention, man. Because these companies will take advantage of you without you even realizing it. You wonder why it's so hard to beat that addiction. And that's why I encourage guys not to drink and not to smoke, because that's a hard addiction to beat. Because everywhere you go, they got alcohol. Everywhere you go, they got nicotine. You can't even go get some gas. You know, everywhere you go, they got alcohol, man. So that's why it's so hard. And it's the same way with social media. It's the same way with pornography. You open up your phone, you going on Instagram, you going on TikTok, you seeing a girl turn around, shake her booty a little bit. Now you're like, oh boy, I might have to rub one off. I done been there, dog. And that's why I had to keep pressing uninterested, unlike uninterested, report. That's what I was doing, dog. I done cleaned up my page pretty good now. But dog, it took a while. Like, it wasn't just a couple times. Like, it was a lot of times I had to push not interested. Don't show me this. Report. And that's why everybody's so addicted to so many different things. That's why we have social media, but people are more antisocial than ever before. Because it might have started off as a good thing, but then it turned into a let's milk these people for all they have. So a lot of people, they don't even have their attention span anymore because all their attention is going to TikTok. They got TikTok brain. They got the attention span of a goldfish. Because they are too glued to everything. They are getting controlled by all these different things that aren't serving them. So that's why you got to be aware. And dating apps are no different. Because in what sense does it make? I ran out of matches and now I open up the phone. Now I got a whole bunch of different people to swipe on. I ran out of people I could swipe on. Now there's a whole bunch of women out of nowhere. I was swiping on a whole bunch of big backs. Now there's like a whole bunch of very attractive women. And they obviously bots. You know, I done been on dating apps enough. You can kind of tell when a fake account is a fake account. You know, now one time I did go on a date with a girl that I thought she had a fake account. She just took really nice photos. But most of the time you can kind of tell when a account's fake. But I just find it really odd. I'm like, dang, they really trying to manipulate people. and over 50 million people on dating apps, but it only leads to about 0.6 long-term relationships. 0.6. So obviously these dating apps aren't set up for you to actually get a match. They're not set up for you actually to get a long-term woman, you know? Now I know a lot of guys, they don't even get on dating apps to begin with to look for something serious. Maybe some of you guys do, but majority of dudes I know, they like, man, I'm trying to get my noodle wet tonight. Let me go ahead and download this app. I think Hinge is a little better because if they had a system where you could just download the app, find a long-term woman, they would lose out on profits. They want you to keep coming back. They want you to keep coming back. Oh, I got to pay more. I got to buy the boost. That's what they want. That's how they make their money. You know, so I just want you guys to be aware of everything is trying to get your attention. Everything is trying to control you without you even knowing it. They all take after that slot machine type system, that casino type system. If y'all ever been to a casino, they never have windows. You go to a casino, they don't have any clocks. They want you to lose track of time. Because if they have windows out there, you be like, damn, it's getting dark. Maybe I should leave. They have a clock in there. Damn, I've been in here for 3 hours. Maybe I should get my ass out of here. Damn, I ain't got no money left. I should probably get out of here. But they want you to get stuck in that loop. They want you to get stuck in that loop. And that's how all these things are going. That's how the social media apps are going. They want you to stay stuck in that loop. That's how these dating apps are going. They want you to get stuck in that loop, even when they don't have anybody to match you with. They're going to start popping up fake accounts. They're going to start popping up girls that don't even have a Tinder profile anymore. They deleted the account months ago, but they're going to pop her up there like you actually got a shot when she can't even swipe on you because she doesn't have an account because they want to keep you on the app. So be aware of that, man. And that's why I talk about the stuff that I do, because it's like we are in the loneliest generation ever. You know, so that's why, and shout out to Top Tier, man. I seen he reposted me on Instagram. He saw a video I made about him months ago. But I pick people like him out because that type of information is hurtful. You might think you're getting good information saying, oh, you need to take a year off dating. You just got to lock in. You got to focus on your craft. And that's a good message. You need to lock in. But when you're talking about cutting things out, you don't have to cut out dating. You need to cut out all the bullshit. You need to cut out the social media. You got to cut out the pornography. You got to cut out the fast food. You got to cut out these distractions that aren't bringing anything back. But I'm saying a good woman, she can bring something back. Man, Mac and Cheese girl, she always bringing me stuff. She brought me some peaches yesterday. She just brought me some peaches, you know, because she had brought me some candy. I'm like, you know, girl, like, don't be doing that too often. You can do it every now and then, but don't be bringing me this candy. You know, you giving me a sweet tooth. I try to keep that stuff away from me. And she's like, yeah, I hear you. I'm going to wait a while until I give it to you again. Probably before you leave, I'll get you, but I'm going to wait a while. I said, okay, cool. But it's like when you're around a solid woman, dog, she can make your life easier. She can make your life more enjoyable. She can help you work on whatever you're working on. Like I've seen that with dudes before, like they had their chick helping them out. They build their business up with their chick. I done seen that before. You know, some guys doing that on a high level. You see Alex Hormozy. His chick played a big role in his companies, a huge role in the companies. Now, some people might clown her and say she looked like a man and this and that. But it's like, if he's attracted to her and she helping him on his business, that's all that matters. She helping his goal. You know, and the thing about it is some men that lack experience in dating. 1 in 4 men haven't got laid in the past year. It might even be higher. I believe it might be 1 in 3. So do you really think it's good advice to go online and say, you need to take a year off dating and just focus on yourself? Like, no, they've been doing that shit their whole life. They've been doing that shit their whole life. Why do they need to take another year to stay away from women? Most of these guys are already scared to talk to women. Now, we aren't going to say that because you're like, Shawty, 5'2", 120. What I'm scared of her for? It sounds crazy when you say it, but a lot of us humans, we're afraid to do stuff we've never done before. That first time you do anything, you kind of nervous. You might be a little scared. So that's why I came at him, and that's why I came at a couple guys. And I'm not even coming at them as a person. I'm coming at their message. You know, and I don't know if he took offense to it or whatever, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Really think about that, dog. And like I said, I used to be in that MGTOW type thinking, but it's like, I understand a lot of these women aren't going to bring you any value, but to even know how to weed a woman out, you probably got to get a little experience. And that's not to say you got to start slanging meat here and there and everywhere, but that's say go on a couple of dates, go on a couple of cheap dates, start socializing more. Because that's what so many men lack. We got social media, but everybody's antisocial. And the better your social skills are, like I said, he does sales. So he came out okay. He could take years off of dating. But if he's working on sales every day, he's working on his social skills, he's going to be perfectly fine. But if you take that advice, shit, you're going to be a weirdo. People going to think you're weird. You're going to have a whole bunch of antisocial problems. Now, you can still overcome that, but it's like, let's address that now. Why wait? Why wait another year to address those problems? If you're scared of women, if you're scared to talk to women, why wait another year to actually start trying to do that? That shit's goofy, dog. That shit is goofy. And like I said, a lot of guys are going to be coping. A lot of guys are going to be coping. It's like the dudes right now, they're like, oh, I'm going to wait till the New Year's to get in shape. Oh, I missed this. I'll be there January 1st. People wait until the end of the year to get in shape. Then they never do it. Those are the guys that never stick to it when they're like, oh, I'm waiting until the end of the year. The guys that stick to it when they like, it's a random Tuesday, random Wednesday, and they're like, you know what? Dog, I'm tired of this shit, dog. I'm going to make something happen. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the month. You're like, man, fuck this, dog. I'm done being like this. Those are guys that make it happen. They're not waiting on the first of anything. They're like, fuck it. I'm tired of living this way. You know, and it's the same way with dating, dog. Stop waiting. I'm not saying you got to go. I'm not telling you to go get married tomorrow. I'm not telling you to fill every hole you see. I'm not saying any of that shit. I'm saying start socializing more. Because that's something we don't have enough of. So that's why I find it funny when like dudes online are like, oh, you need to take a year off dating. It's like, what? What? These motherfuckers done took their whole life off from dating. What the fuck are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you need to take a year off the bullshit. You need to take a year off the fast food. You need to take a year off the pornography. You need to take a fucking year off the social media every single day. That's what you need to get away from. The bullshit that's not bringing you any return. The bullshit that's not going to build you up. If you get a solid woman, dog, she can hold it down. Now, shit, probably 95% of these women ain't going to hold it down. But if you go on a couple of dates, man, the dirt bags, you cut them off quick. I done been on a good bit of dates. The first date with the last date. Shawty not quality whatsoever. Gotta let her go. She got an attitude. Okay, this is the last date. Boom. And there have been times I slipped up. I went on the second day. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the last date. I don't even know how I made it to the second one with you. I was thinking with my lower head. Shit. Sometimes I slip up. So, man, realize dating apps are taking advantage of you. Realize all these big businesses are trying to come for your attention. And that's why you got to pay attention. You got to be aware. You got to understand human nature, dog. Because they will prey on your human nature. They will prey on your human nature. It's just like the news, dog. They always pushing negative shit, trying to scare you. Because they want you to keep you glued to the TV. It's hardwired in your human nature to be concerned about bad things happening. Because if you didn't focus on bad things happening, you might die. But it's like we live in a different time. Now you don't really have to be concerned about everything that's on the news. Because they taking advantage of your human nature. They're going to make the world look like it's ending every single day. Man, you would think tomorrow the last day on earth, the way the news pushes shit, dog. They got to exaggerate stuff. And nowadays, it's like, dog, you can't even know what's real. Everybody's lying. Everybody's exaggerating. Shit, sometimes you just got to take a couple steps back and, like, chill out on all this shit online, dog. Man, but that's all I got for y'all today. Realize these dating apps are manipulating you. You got to wake up, dog. I'm not saying not to use them. They got their pros. They got their cons. I kind of had the stance of Ty Lopez. He's like, man, use a little bit of everything, man. You know, you don't win on a lot of dates from dating apps. Okay, try to pick you up a girl in person. Try to get a girl from Instagram. Try to talk to a girl in your class or at your work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not work, you know. Y'all know to stay away from women that you work with, you know. But y'all know what I'm saying, dog. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.